All right, let's get into it, man. News for the run. Let's start off with the World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers has won the World Series over the New York Yankees. Yankees, man, they kind of just laid down and took the L. I was hoping this series got extended, but man, Dodgers came with it. Shout out to the Dodgers. But also, so just to give you a heads up, Dodgers won the series 4-1. They ended up finishing it out. That last game was a thriller because they came back. Yankees were up 5-0. They were up 5-0. I thought it was done. I'm like, all right, I don't even need to watch it anymore. Yankees should have it under control. And then here comes the Dodgers. Here comes the Dodgers. Grabbing a win, and man, it was remarkable. So above all, congrats to the Dodgers, man. They got it done. They took care of business as they hoped for. And then Freddie Freeman walked away with the World Series MVP trophy. Shout out to him. That man balled out. He did his thing. He had a homer in 6 straight games and pretty much had a solid playoff run this entire time. Another cool stat about the World Series is Will Smith, not the actor, but the baseball player from the Dodgers. This is his 5th World Series in a row, which is just crazy to think about. He's won 5 World Series in a row, going all the way back to 2020. He won with the Dodgers. Then he went to the Braves, won a World Series with the Braves in 2021. 2022, won a World Series with the Astros. 2023 with the Rangers. And now 2024, back again with the Dodgers. This man is a champion. Or you could say other things, but I'm going to just say he's a champion. I'm going to say he's a champion. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to be nice, all of that, whatever. But hey, shout out to Will Smith for doing his thing. Anyway, let's go to some college football because you got a lot of good college football matchups coming up. Some interesting Big Ten matchups. So to kick it off, man, it's about to be a great Big Ten matchup between number 3 team Penn State and number 4 ranked team Ohio State. They're going to be playing against each other, and this game is going to be a home game for Penn State, which is going to be wild, but definitely going to be watching that game. Both of these teams are ranked 3 and 4 right now, so I'm interested to see how that happens. University of Miami, they play Duke University. Duke has actually been fairly solid in the football world. Usually we know them for being a basketball school, but they've kicked it up a notch over the past few years, really since NIL has really happened in college football. So they've been making some things happen. You got Oregon, they play University of Michigan. Georgia, they play Florida. Texas Tech will take on Iowa State. Michigan State will play Indiana. Texas A&M will play South Carolina. Tennessee will play Kentucky. Pittsburgh will play SMU. And then you also too have, let me pull up my Bama boys and see where those guys are. But I'm going to tell you too, there's been some changes in the rankings. Of course, you know, that's expected week after week. So let me just update y'all on that. Last week in the rankings, we seen Oregon at number 1. Georgia was at number 2. Penn State at number 3. Ohio State at number 4. And Georgia at number, oh no, not Georgia. I made that same mistake last time. It was a different team, but it wasn't Georgia. Anyway, it's different now. So just to explain the new rankings and the new teams, that's top 5. You got Oregon, number 1, Georgia, number 2, Penn State at number 3, Ohio State at number 4, and University of Miami at number 5. Texas, number 6. They are 7-1. Miami's 8-0. Oregon is 8-0. Penn State still hasn't lost a game yet, so Ohio State's going to be trying to give them their first loss of the season. BYU is still an undefeated ranked team. Iowa State, Indiana, all of these teams are still undefeated. Pittsburgh still undefeated. Army is an undefeated team. So just to keep an eye out for some of these undefeated teams who are taking care of business in the top AP poll right now. So got to give kudos to them. Anyway, so let's bring over some NFL matchups that I know I'm going to be keeping an eye out for and that I know I'm going to be watching. So obviously we had the New York Jets. They just beat the Texans 21-13. Dallas Cowboys are going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons, which I'm excited about. I'll explain a little bit more of that later and what I'm expecting in this game. But the Buffalo Bills, they'll play the Miami Dolphins. Bengals versus the Raiders. Chargers versus the Browns. We're going to see if Jameis Winston can pick up another dub with the Cleveland Browns. Patriots versus the Titans. Probably will not watch that game, but I mentioned it anyway. Commanders versus Giants. I may have to check Jaden Daniels out once again. But then you got the Ravens versus the Broncos. A lot of people have been asleep on the Broncos because of the rookie quarterback, but the Broncos had the same record as the Baltimore Ravens. As dominant as the Ravens has looked at times, the Broncos still have the same record, which is 5-3. So sitting in really, really good shape. The Cardinals play the Chicago Bears. That's going to be interesting. The main game I'm definitely going to be taking a look at here is the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Going to be a great game. And then the Rams versus the Seahawks. We got a lot of division matchups going on this week in the NFL, but I guess it's that time because we hit, the mid-season point. Trade deadline is happening next week. And hey, teams are trying to make it happen. So it's cool. So some division play, and we'll see who's kind of getting ready to, be the leaders of their division and possibly take a commanding front in their division.